Well, almost 3 million Australians are expected to ditch their health insurance this year, with rising costs said to be the driving factor. According to Finder, 38% of Aussies don't have private health insurance, and while 34% of those who do are planning to remain with the same insurer. 15% say they won't renew this year, and another 13% say they'll switch if there's a better deal. The average premium is set to rise 2.7%. That means a single policyholder paying an average of $1,920 annually will see their premiums go up by around $52. Tim Bennett is a health insurance expert at Finder. Tim, good to see you.
Yeah,
what's behind the price increases, and what will it mean to policyholders?
Well, our research found that between now and, well, since 2000, health insurance premiums have gone up by almost 200%, which is 200%, which is significantly higher than inflation, which is about 70% for that same period. So why they've gone up, it's complicated. The cost of medical care has risen. We have more complicated illnesses, and we've got an ageing population. They're the big drivers of why things are more expensive than they used to.
Okay, so if you're really annoyed and you're thinking of shopping around, how easy is it? And how should you do it?
It's pretty simple. At Finder, we try and make it easy, and we compare policies from 30 different funds or more. The key thing is just to review your policy, make sure you're still covered for what you need day to day, and review your extras, review your hospital cover. And what I'd recommend as well is consider breaking up your extras and hospital packages, because you don't need to get them from the same provider.
What? They're not linked?
No.
Because you automatically think you'd get a better deal if they are linked rather than taking them separate.
Yeah.
You're saying not the case?
Not necessarily. There are some sort of packaged products that the providers offer, but most combined products are one extras product and one hospital product, and they can come from different providers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What should you look at in the hospital's cover?
What you need covered. Private hospital cover gives you hospital cover in a private system for the treatments that you need covered. Now, at the end of the day, that's going to be very personal. You just need to figure out exactly what you want covered and just get the policy that covers that and nothing more. Okay.
Is it worth it? Private health insurance?
It depends. It's going to be a different answer for everyone. If you earn over $90,000 as a single person, there's a tax benefit. And then if you're over 30 and you think you'll get private health insurance eventually, it actually gets more expensive as you grow older without having private health insurance. So there's a couple of sort of tax implications, but broader than that, you just have to decide whether or not the peace of mind is worth it for you. If it's for extras, you just need to make sure that you'll use your extras.
All right, Tim, great advice. Thanks for doing all the work for us. Now, the Coalition has released its election policy costing, showing an improvement to the budget's bottom line. It says it's managed to trim around $1 billion over the forward estimates compared to the 2022-23 budget. The government is now calling on the opposition to release its costings before Saturday's election. Joining me now, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg. Treasurer, how has the government improved the budget bottom line by $1 billion? Where's it come from?
Well, firstly, we've spent, in terms of commitments in this election, about $2.3 billion of additional initiatives, and that's everything from helping people with diabetes access equipment more easily and more cheaply, people being able to access PBS medicines with a lower co-contribution, getting more people onto the concession card. And what we have done is not only match that $2.3 billion, but got $2.7 billion worth of savings through what is called the efficiency dividend, which is within the public service being able to find those savings, and that will importantly ensure that our budget bottom line does improve.
Okay, so that's bigger dividends from things like the Reserve Bank and other government departments. You're getting more tax from iron ore exports and that sort of thing as well?
I'm glad you asked me that, Kochi, because we've been extremely conservative with our budget forecast when it comes to commodity prices. We, for example, have in the budget iron ore at $55 a tonne, whereas it's trading at above $130 a tonne. We've had thermal coal in the budget at $60 a tonne, where it's been trading above $300 a tonne. What this means that if commodity prices stay as they are for the next 6 months, we will get a $30 billion improvement to the bottom line, which we have not factored in. So we've been very conservative on commodity prices. Our commitment to the Australian people, Kochie, is to lower taxes and to create more jobs, and that is what we've done. Again, it's a stark contrast to our political opponents.
It's a bit of a safety net. Look, going into the election, we're in the home straight. How are you feeling personally? You're in a tough fight with independent Monique Ryan. How are you feeling with just a couple of days to go? Do you think you've got it in the bag?
I've been really encouraged, Kochie, with the response that I've had on pre-poll, and people understand that I've worked hard in my local community and that I've got the plan for the future. People are very uncertain about the so-called independence and the notion of a hung parliament and all the uncertainty that that brings. And I'm also up against a former long-standing member of the Labor Party, and Koch doesn't want a Labor Party member, otherwise they would have voted for one in the last 120 years. So those sort of issues are coming to the fore. That being said, I don't take anything for granted. My contest in Koch will be tight, and I look forward to continuing to work with my community long into the future.
Because you're being touted as a future leader. If the coalition lose on Saturday, you've got the numbers over Peter Dutton. do you want to be Prime Minister or leader of the party? Is that the ambition? Kochie,
this is too early in the morning for you to be that cheeky. They're not the sort of questions that I'm entertaining. What I'm focused on is winning my seat, helping the coalition under Scott Morrison win the election on Saturday. Right. And just from our launch a couple of days ago, you could see a very clear contrast in our approach. We've put all our policies up for costings. Labor hasn't put up any. Yeah. We're committed to lowering taxes. Labor, we know, will increase taxes. And what is more, we've now got a housing policy which is going to encourage first home buyers into the market, tapping their super in a positive way, so that they are more secure in retirement.
Even your colleague Jane Hume is saying it'll push up property prices, so will it have the wrong effect?
Well, the Property Council have said that it's going to be immaterial in terms of property prices, and you know the numbers, Kochie. There are $700 billion worth of residential property transactions every year, and even if the full 100,000 people who buy a first home access the full $50,000, that's only $5 billion that will be extra going into the market through people accessing their super. So really it's going to have a marginal impact around prices. What it will do, though, is help people get more security for their longer term futures by buying their own home, and it complements the other supply side measures that we've done, whether it was Home Builder, whether it's the Home Guarantee Scheme, or whether it's the downsizer contributions that we've announced as well.
All right, Treasurer, a big couple of days. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Career-defining couple of days for Josh Frydenberg.
Cheeky Koch. Stay on Sunrise. We have a lot more ahead for you coming up.
Special report, vampire appliances hiding in your home. The device, a thucking tower of bleeding cash. How to find the biggest culprits.
Plus, Kochie to the rescue.